Ruler School is brought to you by Odyssey Games, where you can go to pre-order upcoming Force of Will sets, ccgprime.com for singles and supplies, cardodoko.com for those rulers in the international market looking for product, the Ruler School Circuit Series, now taking orders on our Q1 2025 Skibdis Circuit Kits, and to our guest lecturer members, Vite Ramen and Casey Madden. Class is in session.
Hey there guys, welcome back to another deck profile with yours truly, Paul Reisman. Today we are taking a look at Undine. Undine is a really interesting ruler from the new ABC decks that just came out. She is going to be taking the cost of your water wizards and essentially wiping away their void cost, so you only have to play their will pip cost. So cards like this card that no one has ever played in their life, Lorien Princess of Water, Charlotte, is now a 1-cost water wizard that comes in with 5+1/+1 tokens on her. Significantly better card than she was in the past. We'll get into more of what's going on with her, but that's essentially what Undine does. She erases the void cost, so you only have to play what the will pips are. You can also play you can also play wizard resonators, any attribute of wizard, as though they have quick cast. They don't gain quick cast, so you can't fair spell them, but they can be played basically at quick cast speed without the keyword itself. Players then gain some additional taxes as a part of this card being in play. So first of all, any cost that you would use to pay for a non-resonator spell is going to be increased by 1, or you have to expel a card from your hand in order to play it. Water wizard spells and water wizard resonators that you control, once they are targeted, your opponent will have to target them plus 1 additional will. So they basically have Magic's Ward if they're a water wizard, which is kind of relevant, especially since some wizards your opponent's going to want to try and cancel. That's going to be really hard for them to do if they have to pay additional will. Once you flip, you become a 10/11 with Untouchable and Barrier Chant. Again, it has that discount effect for water wizards, but now anytime that a player wants to play a spell that is not a water wizard resonator, they're going to have to pay 1, including their own resonator. So now the tax has been expanded a little bit. Water wizard resonators gain +X, where X is the number of chants with different names in your graveyard. Well, I hate to break it to you, but in my version of the deck, you're not playing a lot of chants, so this is probably not going to come into play. But at the end of the turn, you rest all non-water wizard resonators. Resonators rested this way do not recover during their controller's next recovery phase. So you're basically freezing anything that is not a water wizard resonator, meaning that this is going to be kind of a nasty ruler to go up against. If you know what you're doing, though, there are ways around it. So because chants and everything else are, taxed, I didn't really want to play anything else other than resonators, because resonators are not taxed on Undine's front side, however you say that. So instead, I started looking at a bunch of resonators, and it turns out, guys, we have a lot of good resonators in this game, including Dark Alice, Rabbit Princess for some draw power. We do have a Lorien Princess of Water, Charlotte. In the deck, she will be Lars, Inheritor of the Sacred Spirit. So for anything that references cards in the deck, you're going to have to start on that front side. However, you can cast any side of this shift card. This is a card that probably no one has ever seen played. So when it comes into play, it's going to have 5+1/+1 counters. You can remove 4 of them to draw a card. And then if you happen to shift her from Lars into Charlotte, she'll be a 10/10 instead, which isn't too bad. Definitely not too bad. I did find myself honestly just quick casting her in for a 5/5, and she did a lot of aggression work, which is kind of surprising. I did not see that coming. But also the additional draw, plus with Dark Alice, this card's gonna be drawing you a lot of cards. One of our other water wizards, it's going to be really hard for me to say that in this whole profile, but the other water wizard of mention is Arlequin, the Dead Moon Circus. This card maybe shouldn't have been printed, but it was, and so we're going to use it, and we're going to cast it in at the end of my opponent's turn or in my recovery to make my opponent lose some cards from their hand. Consensus, by the way, happens as the card enters the field, not an enter ability. So things like Abdul or Ray Asnable will not be able to stop this effect from going off. Nice little thing to keep in mind there. This card is really, really good. So your opponent's probably going to choose Comedy. You're going to choose Tragedy. They're going to discard 2 cards and put a card from their field back into their hand. The expulsion effect is not really something that we're looking at, but it can be useful if you want to go in that direction, maybe with a Rook heal list or something like that. Guardian Dragon of the Kingdom is here to ramp us stones and just be a huge 2-drop threat. This card is seeing a lot more value in play since Mirror came into the meta. We're playing 2 Vacuous to not only get rid of cards that are really problematic for us on my opponent's field, but also to get rid of any additions or regalia, which are really starting to see a lot of play now because of the new set. You're going to be able to pay 1 to just yeet those cards just out of the game, and all copies that are in the hand, the field, the graveyard, and in the deck, just gone. So this is really, really helpful for just getting rid of those cards. That effect really came up and was really handy. Playing 2 Charlotte, Wielder of the Sacred Spirit. So Lars gave it to her, and now she has it. And now she's a 3-cost cast in with barrier for total cost of something that's in your hand. +2/+2 for each card in your hand, plus she cantrips upon entry. She's a wizard, and I don't know if I would ever actually include her in the deck again. She's here, she's fine, but I never found myself playing her. Oftentimes she was just used to pay the Zacky's new plan cost, which we're playing in the deck, mostly because you can expel 2 cards in your hand to play this card instead if you want to now, or you can just pay an additional will. I find myself paying an additional will more often than not with this card because it can just be potentially free. Just expel something and then go back into the deck. The cancel is very, very strong. So we have a couple of copies in here for that reason. We're playing 3 Robometa because it's a 1-cost that it's going to get bigger, and unless your opponent answers it, can just run away with the game. So just be aware, you get to play Robometa in this deck if you want. Playing 3 Ultra Magic Stone Golems, which is only getting better with the Guardian Dragons to give you more stones. We're playing a Diversity's Magic Stone list, so this card is going to be coming out relatively easily. I might even go as far as to say I'm changing the Magic Stones even more than I was before, just to make this a little bit more consistent, but this card put in so much work. This is your board wipe and your threat all in one. So this is going to come in and just wipe anything else out that has less than 2,000 attack, and that's most things. So there you go, Ultra Magic Stone Golem. One of the best cancels in the deck is Despoina. Heir of the 7 Seas. Despoina? Let's go with that. Despoina. So, the important text on this is each player expels all spells they control. Spells refers to anything that's on the chase, and so what that does, short of something with untouchable, which can't be moved from the chase, this card is going to, quote-unquote, cancel those cards. They're also going to be expelled, which is incredibly, incredibly powerful. We've never had, short of Mirror, we've never had this effect on a resonator in quite the same way. And so Desponia is going to be really powerful for that. However, the other piece of this card that is really, really interesting, and most people did not see coming when I played this against them, as she enters, I can stack up to 6 non-Magic Stone cards from all graveyards or removed areas below this card, including my own stuff. So I get to recycle by tapping and putting that card back into my hand, or just stealing my opponent's RFG so they can't do anything with solarization, or steal cards from their graveyard so they can't do anything from their graveyard anymore. This card, stealing stuff from your opponent's used piles, is really, really, really funny. And this effect came out more than one time, so this card is absolutely amazing. Probably the best water wizard outside of Arlequin. We're playing 3 Fiola because, hey, it's a cancel on a body, and we're playing bodies, so here we are. We're also playing Girion, which can just come out in this deck. This deck tends to go into a ton of additional stones, partially because of Guardian Dragon, but also because you're slowing the game down. So if this card is in your hand and you have the ability to just play it and swing, this is a very powerful effect, especially against decks that love their 1-drops. If they don't see Geary incoming, it's going to be a rough time. We're also playing 3 Lorite for obvious reasons. This is just one of the best all-around stifles in the game. Talked about Zacky's new plan. Again, this card is super good. I love this card right now. This card is in pretty much every blue deck that I play, or honestly, in every deck that isn't wind. So I play Zacky's new plan. Such a good card. And then we're also playing 3 Ray Asnable. I ended up putting this back into the deck. I was playing a couple of the Abduls instead, but that double black cost and just not being able to cancel something from the hand and not having barrier, honestly, I went back to Ray. Ray's pretty good. You just discard it for inheritance and you stop an enter ability, or if you're able to somehow get this guy onto the field, sometimes he can just seal the game for you if your opponent has no outs to him. So I honestly am playing Ray Asnable over the quick cast wizard Abdul Al-Hazred. So Magic Stone deck is going to include 2 Crystal Barrel, because they're tri-stones, 2 Crystal Barrel, 2 Emerald Tablet, 2 Magic Stone of Deepwood, a Kaguya Stone, just for diversity's sake. We are playing a Magic Stone of Dark Depth and an Ataraktia's Remnants instead of the second one. I just made a mistake here in this video, and then we're playing 1 Moonshade to just kind of round out the stone base and give us all the colors that we need. We're not seeing a lot of Star Scale right now, so I'm starting to re-embrace Moonshade as a potential option. If you don't have Moonshades, the Crown Stone is also very, very helpful for you, so I would suggest that as well. Other than that, guys, this is my Undine list. Let me know what you think down in the comment section down below. Resonator control is not something I thought I'd be building in January 2025, but here we are. This deck was super, super fun. So I would highly recommend that you check it out, especially if you have a lot of these just free roaming resonators that are just generically good, coming together and doing something truly fantastic. But let me know what you all think down in the comment section down below. Is Undine too powerful? Is she, warping the meta? Let me know down in the comment section down below. I actually think she's probably just fine the way she is. But again, let me know down in the comments, and while you're down there, hit that like button, hit subscribe, and ring that bell. And until next time, guys, this has been Paul saying class is dismissed.